Hey friends, my name's Carrie and welcome to Homestead by the Highway. I just wanted to pop on and say Happy New Year. It is 2023 and just share a little bit about me and why I got started with YouTube, as well as what kind of videos can you expect from this channel and where am I going in 2023? What are you gonna see? So let's get started. My name's Carrie and I live in Southwest Michigan with my husband, and we are empty nesters. It's just the two of us. We have 3 grown children and they are adults now doing their thing. So it's just the two of us. So anything that I plant, I garden, for the most part is just for the two of us. So we don't do things on a very large scale here. I am a pharmacy technician as my full-time job, and I work out in a small community retail pharmacy, and I love being a technician. It is probably not what I'm going to do until retirement. I have about 15-ish years before I retire, and I am hoping to find something a little less stressful. I guess that's the word I want to use. I love what I do. I love my patients. It's a challenge. It's a challenge out there. So I don't plan to do that until I retire, but maybe I will. We'll see where life takes me. I love what I do. I just don't think I can do that for another 15 years. I do live in Southwest Michigan. I'm considered zone 6, 6A, depending upon what map you look at during what year. I'm in this weird little pocket. I am okay with it. I just say I'm zone 6. And so if you're a zone 6er, most things that I do on my channel will apply to you when it comes to the garden. I do live by the highway, hence the name, Homestead by the Highway. The highway is literally in my backyard, and if you've watched any of my outdoor videos, you've heard the highway. I am trying to come up with more ways to get better sound. I've bought a lavalier microphone and have been trying to use that. I think it picks up more of the highway noise than it does my voice though. So I will keep working on that as we go through this season. That is important to me, that you can hear me and not the trucks flying by. So why YouTube? I wrote notes because I didn't want to like squirrel and go down a rabbit hole. Why YouTube? I needed a place to document. When I'm out in the garden, I will be doing things. I'll be like, oh, I need to write that down when I get inside. Oh, I need to do this when I get inside. And if I take a pen and paper out there with me, I either A, lose it, or it gets so dirty I can't read it anyways. So I thought I'm just gonna start recording what I'm doing and just taking notes that way. And then it turned into, why not just start sharing what I'm doing? I love what I'm doing. I love to share. I love to teach. My background is in training people. I love to train people. Unfortunately, we don't get to do that anymore. It's a matter of, here's your job, here's your task. I'll come back and tell you when it's not right. And it's just sad. So I wanted a place to document, and I wanted a place to share and teach what I'm learning as I'm learning, because I am learning. I do not have all the answers. I am not a professional gardener by any means. This will be my 3rd or 4th season. I'd have to look, doing some gardening. I've been doing garlic for almost 5 years now. Garlic is what got me started. And so I keep learning more and more each year, and what works one year doesn't always work the next because your weather was different, or you had a bug problem that you've never had before, those kinds of things. So I just feel like we learn from one another by learning what our experiences are. So I just wanted to share them that way. What is my goal from this channel? My goal is to share what I know. I want people to engage people. I love conversations where people are like, hey, I did this, or hey, I did that, or you might want to try this, or you might want to try that. And I do want to encourage people to be curious. I'm someone who is, I don't want to say it's lazy gardening, but if you put up a seed in the ground, it's probably going to grow. It might not give you a ton of fruit or a ton of vegetables or whatnot, but it's probably going to give you something. And so I like easy things. That's why I love garlic. You put it in the ground. The first few years, I never watered it. I didn't fertilize it. I didn't cover it. I didn't do anything. because I just wanted to see what happened. And I went from 50 heads of garlic to now I'm growing over 200 heads of garlic. So I like to do things and try to keep it as low maintenance as possible. One, because I am working outside the home 40 hours a week. So this is a side thing for me. And so I want to encourage people to share ideas. Hey, did you know if you just covered that with this, or this worked in my area, you might want to try this kind of thing. I want to encourage that kind of environment where we can learn from one another, as well as I want to learn from you with those ideas. So share those ideas with me, and I will, as I try them, it'll probably end up on a video for others to try in case people don't read the comments. But that was my goal for the YouTube channel, was I needed a place to document, and I wanted a place to share and create an environment for us to share with one another. So what to expect from 2023? Gardening. I live in a state where we have 4 seasons, and our seasons have shifted a little bit in severity, I think, the last couple of years. But I try to put some stuff in the spring. I can grow in the summer, and I can grow into the fall until I think I harvested stuff at the first week of November this past year. So I was just tearing out the garden right at the beginning of November. So usually May to November is kind of like my growing season. So as much as I can cram into that season is what I am doing with gardening. I do start the year off. We're going to, hopefully next week, you will see the garden plan. What do I already have out there? What do I plan to plant? Do I start my own seeds? Yes. And so we'll start seeds together, that kind of stuff. So those videos will start actually in next week. So we'll start getting in some gardening videos. When I can't garden, I do like to cook when I can and have the energy. I love to prepare things. I like to have things ready ahead of time. I don't do a ton of freezer meals or anything like that. Once in a while, I'll go, oh, we really like that. I might as well make 2 or 3, that kind of stuff. So I do like to do some cooking and some baking. The other thing you'll see on this channel is preserving. I can stuff from my garden. I do buy peaches. I have gotten peaches the last couple of years from the peach truck out of Georgia, and I can peaches, but I can stuff from my garden. I also can chicken. I do a variety of canning. I do water bath canning and pressure canning. I follow the USDA guidelines. I am not a rebel canner, and there's nothing against that. I just use the guidelines that are in front of me now with the safest way to can, because I do share my food with other people, and I would be absolutely mortified if something were to happen to one of them because I chose to take a shortcut. So right now I do follow the guidelines. I do think I've maybe once did something a little rebel-like, but I don't think I made a video about it, and it was just for us. So there is that. But for the most part, 99.9% of the time, I follow the guidelines within the kitchen for canning. I do grow some herbs. I dried some herbs this year. I do dehydrating. I'll share those projects with you. I love to have dehydrated things like peppers, and I dehydrate my own garlic for my own garlic powders, my own garlic salts. There's videos. I can link them down below if you go on my channel. There's a whole playlist of just garlic videos, so you can dig into that. On this channel, you'll also see what I call AZURE hauls. This is what people call them, whether you get 2 items or 1,200 pounds worth in 75 items. They call it a haul. So I do AZURE haul. AZURE is a company, it's a family-based company, and they have wonderful ethics, and they are based out of, and I always say it wrong, Oregon or Utah, I don't remember, but I am in Michigan, so my stuff has to come from there. They do 1 delivery a month, and you order your stuff by a cutoff date. You actually get a time that a semi is going to roll up at your assigned location, and you help unload whatever is at your stop. They have several stops. Our stop is a very, very small stop. If you watch anybody else's on YouTube, we're a very small stop. We usually have like 2 skids worth of food and maybe a half a skid worth of frozen food that we help unload. It takes 20 minutes, maybe, depending upon how many of us are there. You take the items that are with your name, you help everybody unload, you pile the stuff in people's names, and then you take your pile to your car and then you leave. It is kind of fun. I think it's kind of funny. The people are super, super nice that are all there. They are all people who are trying to eat healthier, I want to say. They have a lot of organic, non-GMO kinds of foods. They gluten-free foods if you need stuff like that. They do sell in bulk, but they also sell, you can buy a 2-pound bag of sugar, or you can buy a 50-pound bag of sugar. You can buy a small thing of pure maple syrup, or you can buy a 55-gallon drum of pure maple syrup. So they also sell in very large quantities. There are no minimum orders. There are no membership fees. There's nothing like that. You order when you want. I miss orders because I miss the cutoffs. I sometimes don't need anything, so I don't order. Some people only order twice a year because their stop is like an hour away. So they will put everything on in their shopping cart, and they'll just keep putting it in their shopping cart. And then once every 6 months, they'll go twice a year to do one big giant pickup, hence the word haul. So I will do my AZURE hauls every month. I love, love, love their stuff. And the price points on it, if you watch any of my beginning AZURE hauls that I did, and there's a whole playlist for that as well. I actually compared them to ordering the same products on Amazon, and I was saving $200 and $300. And that's not an exaggeration for the small amount of stuff that I had. Most items were the exact same item. So it was crazy. Or I got a comparable organic item in the same size and figured it out ounce per ounce. But I was saving $200 to $300 versus buying from Amazon and having it delivered to my door. So it was crazy. So you will see AZURE hauls. I can leave that link down below if you'd like to go check them out. Just as a note, they do, anybody who shares their link, when you order, you can share your own link. When you share the link and somebody makes a $100 purchase, just one time, $100 purchase, they put $25 into your credit so that you can purchase stuff, use it towards your next purchase. And several of you have done that for me. Thank you. I appreciate you. And that's why I share, one, the hauls, but also I share how I'm using that product. I ordered 55 pounds of potatoes on accident one time. Whoops. So I did a video on what do 2 people do with 55 pounds of potatoes. I ordered cheese by the brick. They're 5-pound bricks, and I ordered several bricks. And so I show you, how do we use 5 pounds of cheese? I shred it, I slice it, I freeze it, and I walk you through that. There's a video on that as well in the AZURE playlist, and I think it's in the kitchen list as well. They do sell in bulk, and the cheese by the brick is raw milk cheese, and you have not had cheese until you've had this pasture-raised cow raw milk cheese. Oh my gosh, it's so good. It is so creamy, and it melts so well. I absolutely love it. The same cheese in the store, I pay, I think when I got it, I think it was $5.39, $5.89 a pound for the mild cheddar. And in the store, it's almost $17 a pound. Like, why wouldn't you buy 5 pounds of it and just freeze it up and use it? Yeah. So that's my cheese plug. Their cheese is amazing. So AZURE hauls, and I talked about canning and preserving and cooking. So those are that's how we're gonna get through the year. And I do other little piddly things I might throw in. I'm sewing some stuff on paper towels, the cloth paper towels. I love them. I was trying to see if I had one nearby, and I don't. I love them, and I'm going to do a craft show with a friend. And so I was making some up with some fun patterns. And so maybe I'll bring you along and just show you how I make a set of those. We use paper towel, but very, very rarely. sometimes to soak up some grease and maybe a random cleaning project, but most of the time I just use these on paper towels. They're just for us, and I have some that I clean with and some that we use as napkins and paper towels. So there's that. So I might sneak something like that in there. I do crochet for fun. I love to read. So yeah, those are just some other little things about me. Anyways, friends, Happy New Year. And I can't wait to share this new year with you out in the garden, seed starting coming up, planning what I'm going to put out in I have a garden cage if you've never heard me refer to that. What are we going to put in the garden cage this year? What am I definitely going to change from last year? Wow, did I learn a lot. What are we going to put out near the garlic and the blueberries and that kind of stuff? So come along, let's enjoy 2023 together. And thank you so much for sharing your time with me. It is so much appreciated, and I value you. I value your time, and I'm going to try to keep this video short. Thanks, friends. Have a good day.